Today we are going to be going over EverQuest Legends. Let me get this going here. There we go. Let's get this going in. All right, so let's log on in here. Heading into EverQuest Legends. Beautiful. So you only need one character. That's it. Because your one character can do all the stuff, all the things. All right, first off, let's get the volume up. I usually turn the volume down because I'm watching a movie or something like that. Let me see if I can. There's a lot more to the controls and options. So first things first, you start off in a place you probably don't recognize, and that is New Sibyllus. At least if you're an Ixar, which if you're not an Ixar, then I think you're just doing it wrong. But this is the way to have a place for Ixars to go without having Kunark in you. And you're noticing a couple of weird things here too. Paladin spells, Beast Lord spells, Ranger and Bard spells. That's because you can pick any character or any class that you really want. So you'll start off at level 1, of course. You'll get to pick 2 classes. And then you level up to level 10 and you get to unlock your 3rd class. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and go over everything to do with that. So these are called loadouts. I personally have got a Monk Bard SK, an SK Cleric Monk, and an SK Monk Berserker. All 3 of these are the ones that I have played personally, and of course you want to break into the rest. Now granted, right here, the ones you can pick, you've got level 10s, because even if I was level 50 all the way across the board like I am on my Monk Bard SK, if I were to add in a character that was not like a druid, I would have to start over at level 10. Even though my SK and my Monk are level 50, throwing in a level 10 means I start at level 10. Now the biggest differences is that I keep all of my gear, all of my skills, all of my AAs, and everything else. I just have to level a druid now. So it becomes much, much easier to do. Now, let me pull up the stream in case anybody is asking questions. But it's a really cool system. Now, you can't just load out and swap whenever you feel like it. You have to be in a safer area, safer zone. The stream in case anybody. So the biggest thing that you want to do is make sure, like, I can swap out in the town. I can swap out in a city or in a zone that's adjacent to a town, but I would not be able to swap out like in the middle of Lower Guck or something like that. But so the reason I chose Bard and Monk first was because obviously I wanted the songs. I wanted to be able to twist songs, and you know, I wanted the Monk for the additional attack, and I wanted the SK for sustain. Well, little did I know that Monk is just as much sustain almost. They've got a 1.5-minute timer now on their mend. So it's a huge, huge bonus. Bard now can play up to 5 songs in the background, just passively. Almost like an aura. And of course, SK, SK's SK, they always have been a little bit OP, but on top of that, you've actually got 2 additional slots here in your makeup on your inventory. You can place things here to give you the bonus that whatever that item has. Now, whether that be something with haste because you want to wear a nice belt, or in my case, if you wanted to put on 2 instruments because you didn't want to have to put them in your other slots to, you know, give yourself the music boost. Now, we won't go into exaltations just yet because that's a pretty deep system here, but one thing that you're going to notice is the +1, +3, +4 things on the items. And let's step out into the world here. Now we're going to go ahead and stay on my SK Cleric Monk here because I'm trying to level up my Cleric. But I will show you guys how to push up the different items. There's a couple different ways, so it will be fun to show you guys exactly what we're doing. Now, there are limitations on what I can go over with you on the live stream. I can only show you guys what I can show you in game. I can't discuss anything with you guys other than that. So if it comes from any other venue other than in game, I can't show it to you guys. However, there's a ton I can show you guys in game, so don't worry about that. So we're going to be running out here to the dev camp. And the reason we're going to the dev camp is because they drop the dervish rings. And these rings, we're going to give you just dexterity, basically. I'm not wearing them right now. I was for a while. But I will show you guys what I'm talking about. Look at that beautiful damage text just floating around in the air. So this is a cutthroat insignia ring. We are going to loot this, and then we are going to go ahead and sell the spear right from the loot window. Another wonderful thing. Alright, so we didn't get anything on those 2. We'll just go ahead and take this guy. Oh, getting shafted. Never even heard of those. You can click sell all here. You can loot all. You can merge all. Or you can store all. And store all sends it to this dragon horde that you have that you can actually go back and access through your bank. So there's been a lot of quality of life features added into this to make the game way more just easy to access for all kinds of stuff. There's no more running back to town and leaving the dungeon because you're overweight with just trash. You can just sell everything that you want to sell right as you're farming it. Well, I was hoping for some rings. There we go. Now, as you can see, this ring is also just a regular. No +1, no +5, no plus whatever. So when we merge it, you're going to now see that this ring is a +1. Now, it went from 2 decks to 3 decks, and that's just a +1. And there are a couple other ways you can increase this as well, and that is you can add in what's called these motes of infinitesimal potential. And when you add this in, oh, that says it's too big. So we'll do this one, add this thing in, and it's going to show you that you're going to get now half the level. So let's merge it again. And let's merge one more into it. Now we're going to pop this thing up to level 2. And now we've got 4 decks and 3 AC instead of 2 AC. So you can kind of see the potential here. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, so I've just got to kill these dervish cutthroats for, 8 hours to get this. And that would be true on regular difficulty. But, as you can see, we're sitting here in the North Desert of Ro. Difficulty level over here, we're set at 0. So let's go ahead and pump this thing up to level 4. Now, the reason you'd want to do this is that at level 4, you're going to have the potential for these, creatures, monsters, NPCs to drop higher level versions of the gear that you're wanting to get. One thing I wish that they would change, and this is something kind of silly, I guess, but it's like, at the end of the day, I would like to be able to actually turn off like the waterfall sounds and things like that, like you're getting Guck. I'm going to have to figure that out. Because you can turn off the environmental, like all the wind and all the raining storms, that kind of stuff, but for some reason the water was still coming through for me. Alright, so the first thing you're going to notice here is this little level 15 Crypt Mummy that typically you could just go romp a stomp if you were level 10 even, now is a warrior and a ranger. This little tiny Gila monster here is got a pet. That's because, just like you now, the creatures are either dual or triple spec'd. So, as you can see here, this dervish cutthroat over here is a wizard magician. Now, I can tell you right now that if I was level 10 and I went to fight this thing, he would probably just push me 6 feet under, because a wizard mixed with a magician and the pet would be too much. But, obviously, it's designed to be difficult. But we'll show you guys in just a second why we are going through doing it. So we just got a +4 ring. Now, as you can see, the +4 is 6 dexterity, 5 AC. So a massive difference from 2 dexterity, 3 AC. So let's go ahead and merge this together. And now we've got a +4 in our inventory. Now you can see here, you need to get 16 to get to +5. Now, that goes pretty quick whenever you're looting them at +4, but can you imagine if you were still doing the 1s? Obviously, at that point, you'd be struggle bussing to get 16 of these rings. So it's really nice that they put these in, and you have the opportunity to get them like in a +4 version. Now, you can just minimize this, or you can just sell whenever it comes up. A lot of times in the bigger dungeons, whenever you're fighting multiple things at once, I'll minimize this so I can do it later. Even if you walk all the way across the zone, you can still loot, you can still sell, you can still do all the things. So run past here. So for example, we'll just go ahead and start whacking these guys. Now, as you can see, I'm level 48. And I am not one-shotting these anymore by any means. So the difficulty is substantially different. Now, another thing that means, though, is that if you're going in to get an item that is already good, let's say off of Inaruk or Nagafin or whatever it may be, going in with a group of players, now I know that you probably read the title of this, a solo adventure, but if you go in with a group of players that are able to defeat, let's say +4, Nagafin, +4 Vox, whatever it may be, then at that point you are going to be able to get far better gear than before. Now, if you get on a stage to where you're farming this on a daily basis, every couple days or whatever your schedule allows, then you're going to be racking up some serious gear. And I think that that's going to be the, I guess, the gating point on this game is that you're going to have to rack up the plus gear in order to be, competitive. So here we go. We got plus excuse me, +4 with dexterity 6. And then we'll just sell the rest. Now I'm looking at a +6, and how much do we have here? 4 out of 64. So we've got a little bit more to go. No question there. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll do this one more time. But as you can see now, we're up to dexterity 8 and AC 7. So just in a standard zone, we are now looking at gear that, substantially better gear than what we were at. So just to let you guys know, I am in no way uberly geared or anything like that. Been kind of trying to casually play to just see what you could do on the game without being like a complete just overlord for the game. But yeah, I've noticed that you can definitely get some good stuff. Now, I have worked 4 into this. That's made it 28 damage, 39 delay. It's pretty decent. And I have worked 3 into this, which is 1828. I've tried my best to get some additional. I think I got, the gypsy loot I did quite a bit on, because in my mind I thought it would increase the resonance. It did not, but I did get some more save versus magic out of it. Skinner's belt, and I think I worked one more thing. I have my small rawhide gorget. It was funny though, because I was rolling into areas where bronze was dropping, and without farming the bronze, this was still better than the bronze drops for a leather gorget, so that's pretty good. So when you zone out of that area and into a new one, it automatically drops you down to 0 difficulty again. So that's a good thing. You don't have to, worry about rolling into an area that's like +4 and then just dying. And I know that a lot of people would probably, if especially if you played, a certain emulated EverQuest server from the past that would probably remind you of something like this, you probably would think that this is going to be an easy adventure. And what I can say is that it starts off that way for sure. The leveling is much slower. I'm not going to say akin to, standard EverQuest or whatever it was like back in 98, but you're going to spend a couple of days at least leveling up, maybe even more depending on your time frame. I know that I spent, I think it was like 4 days, but that was hitting it pretty heavy, asking for hot pockets, not getting up from the computer, that kind of stuff. So feel like it might take you a little bit longer to get in. Now, once you get to that point, though, the rest of the leveling is going to be simple, because now you're able to utilize your higher character, your gear. That's another reason why I spent a lot of time getting, gear that my SK can wear. Like mostly all of this my SK can wear, except for this, I believe. So when I transfer, you keep your main character primary the same, your SK. And then you move along to the other characters, like if you want to do Bard, Druid, Enchanter, Warrior, whatever. Whenever you change, your gear has to now fit those characters. So if I had a whole bunch of monk gear on my guy, sure, I could wear it. But if I changed my character to something else, then at that point, all my monk gear is gone. I have to use some other kind of gear. So you have to kind of start over at 0 again. So I went full SK setup. That way, no matter what I pick in the future, I will still have, really good SK setup. So while we're running, though, we can talk about stances. Balanced stance is it's pretty much just a normal stance that you're going to be running. It doesn't take any additional stamina or endurance, anything like that. Striker stance This gives you a chance to do 3 times damage on non-weapon skill abilities. Or I'm sorry, your outgoing weapon skill abilities deal 3 times damage, and non-weapon skill abilities deal 5 times damage. And your chance to hit is increased by 25%. Now, this drains your endurance. That's the only downside to having this. But as you can see from just that description, this is a huge thing for just absolutely destroying creatures. Mage stance. This is going to be all incoming magical damage is reduced by 50%. This is a wonderful thing to use whenever something is just blasting you, or like you come up against a wizard. Offensive stance. All outgoing melee damage is increased by 100%, and your chance to hit is increased by 25. But every point of bonus damage dealt consumes an equal amount of endurance, with a reduction based on your strategy skill. So your strategy skill goes up as you run these different stances. Evasive stance, which is massive. Evasive stance is you have a 95% chance to evade all incoming attacks. Every point of damage evaded consumes 2 endurance, with a reduction based on your strategy skill. So this is huge. I've seen people that pair up like an SK, a bard, and a wizard that will pull like 50 things, pop their evasive stance, throw on a complete heal, which now is called something different. And it actually has an 18-second timer, but it's instant cast. And at that point, then you'll just start AoEing away and things will just start to disappear. It's really, really cool. Defensive stance. All incoming physical damage is reduced by 50%, and incoming magical damage is reduced by 20%. Every point of damage reduced. So basically this is the yin yang to the mage hunter. But if the thing doesn't have magical damage, it's just beating you with a sword. And then berserker stance is berserker only, and this has the ability to increase your attack speed by double. Attack speed by double, and consumes a quarter amount of endurance. But this also does damage to you. So kind of just depends on what you're looking to do. I haven't had a berserker yet. So Rooster, I'll tell you what, whenever the game launches live, I would absolutely love to do something like that, because it is very important to me to take these games that are, notoriously known as solo player games, and just trying to make friends and being able to do things together. So I think that would be a good idea. Or if someone else wants to make something like that, I could join them. I'm not, either way, if there's something that can pop up that people are going to be doing group content, I'm definitely going to be on board. But if they don't, then absolutely, I'll create me a Unity on here too. So if you can't tell yet, we're going over to Gug. Just kind of showing you guys, there's no uber fast travel. Now, what I could have done, since I was in that zone, I could have gone to my other loadout, and I could have done something with my wizard. I do have a wizard here. So if I were to get on a wizard, I would be able to port over, but realistically, I'd only skip like one zone, and I'd have to go through all the loadout stuff. So we're just going to roll into Guck here to show you guys. Now, when you first log in, one of the main things you're going to see is that everything is kind of got like an HD look to it. Almost like a 4K look to it. Now, I did set up this UI myself, like move the things around, not like the actual UI. But I did move the things around, so don't feel like this has to be your setup. I just did this. This is the way I like it. But like your name, the way things just pop, kind of, it just feels like a very much elevated EverQuest from, the old days. So that's going to be the first thing you notice. The second thing, whenever you're rolling out to fight your first, green snake or whatever it's going to be, is the damage text is awesome. The floating numbers and everything else, it's really like, I can't really describe it to you without you doing it yourself, but it feels really satisfying to watch everything just flying around, numbers wise, and especially when you get that huge crit and you get to experience that. It's very, very cool. All right, so we're rolling on in to Lower Guck. And to kind of give a quick example of what I was talking about, we are just going to push this thing up to 4th difficulty. Looks like there are 6 players right now in refined Old Guck. And I can promise you that those 6 players are more than likely better than me, because I'm probably going to get smoked in here. So we are only missing one thing that I really, really think would be helpful, and that is like the group buff thing, and I don't remember what it was called. Quick buff. So this will allow you to buff whoever it is, your group or whatever, with all of your buffs that are mimmed. So we'll just go ahead and get started here. Some of the things I'm buffing, you're going to notice, don't have a timer on them. And that's because there are a few different buffs, not all of them, but a few different buffs that are actually going to be permanent. So as long as you don't die, those buffs do not go away, which is really, really nice, as I'm sure you can imagine. One of them is my Scream of Death. The other ones are going to be Grim Aura is another one. There's a few other ones that are really, really nice. Well, you guys also let me know if I need to adjust the volume or anything like that, if you can hear the game, all that kind of stuff. Now, as you can see, this dude is putting in some work. You've got 14s flying everywhere and things like that. But first things first, we're going to see this little shaman down here is a ranger and a... That was rude. Ranger and a shaman. But only level 29. Okay, so it says it's encounter locked to someone else. I'm assuming that's that guy over there. For some reason it attacked me, though. So, warrior shaman. A level 31 warrior shaman. Just grayer than an old lady's hair. And it's still, I mean, look at this. Busting me with taggers, insects, all kinds of stuff. The one that rolled in behind is an enchanter. So you'll also notice that I'm not having to press like Eagle Strike or Flying Kick or any other stuff. And the reason being is that I've got those on auto skill. Auto skill is a thing here, and it's really, really nice. If you've never had auto skill, you know, as a use thing, it's very, very nice to have. So one other thing about these level 4 difficulties is apparently the aggro range is immensely increased. So you're going to see huge aggro range increases. Alright, so I just popped on my offensive stance so we can start seeing the bigger damages come out. But yeah, as you can see, I'm level 48. These guys are putting in some serious work. Now, that being said, we are about to also go over why having a cleric in your trio is almost a cheat code, which is awesome. Alright, so we are going to press one button here. That is complete heal. So complete heal now has a timer on it. It's 18 seconds, I believe. And once those 18 seconds are done, it blasts you with a 6,000 point heal. So just absolutely massive heal. And there it is. I'm back in the game. So we're going to do this guy with offensive stance starting from the start and show you guys the difference with the damage. So as you can see, I know that he is a warrior bard, which is a little different obviously than like a warrior enchanter or whatever it may be. But the damage is a lot better. 265, and of course you've got a whole bunch of little ones. 90, 86, 172. So I mean, you're seeing way bigger damage. As crazy as it sounds, you can actually get some pretty decent stuff out of these. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to start off with maybe like a sword, and we're going to see what we can get that sword to during our fight down here in Gug. So now we'll start off with a Banish Undead. So I know soon I'm going to have to get probably invised and just run through. I don't think you guys want to watch me run through all the trash all the way there. But we're going to go down and try to find some of these named creatures in the bottom. I'll be honest, I didn't see the magician pet at first. It does add another level of difficulty, though, whenever you walk up to a regular old, Shin Ghoul Knight, and he's hitting you with Druid DOTs and things like that. Like, it's a whole nother level. So, I've got Healing Light. Pretty standard cleric heal. But I've also got these Sacred Echoes. So, this fills your target or your target's body with a Sacred Echo, immediately healing for 639, and then healing twice more for between 260 and 260. So this is a very fast heal, and not only does it heal you for almost as much as the other one does, it actually gives you 2 additional heals. So on top of being extremely quick, it offers that benefit too. So I got us a couple here. So let's go ahead and go into Striker Stance. Striker Stance is its own beast. 352. When it comes to a monk, you've got so many additional non-weapon skill-based, attacks, like Eagle Strike, Flying Kick, that kind of stuff, that your damage gets just ultimately pumped up off of this. Now, this also works for things like Rogue. Rogue would get a 3 times backstab. Zerker, gets his frenzy boosted up off of this as well. So there's a huge amount of benefit from using the Striker Stance. The only bad thing is it does drain your endurance here. Now, I remember on somewhere that there was like heals for endurance with cleric. I'm guessing that maybe they were removed or not available now. You do get EXP for killing pets. Yes. As long as they're not, yeah, as long as they're not gray. Now, one other thing that you may like or hate is I've gotten EXP off of pets, but a lot of times the pets are going to be gray anyways. But the AA EXP you're going to get, it comes naturally as you level. So you can't just like turn on AA EXP and farm AAs. So, hey, sorry, I could be wrong. I pay attention to a lot of stuff, but there's also a lot of stuff I miss. So if I am wrong, I'm wrong. But yeah, so as you level, you're going to get normal EXP as well as AA EXP. So you get them all at once. Once you get level 50, you can't just like turn on AA EXP. It's going to be the same level that it was. You know what? Let's try that, Ross. Actually, the next time I see one with a pet, let's give that a shot. What's this? Warrior Wiz. Oh, see how the aggro level is crazy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this guy down. I kind of want to try that now. Or if the pet just wanders off, that'd be funny. Just a random earth pet walking around. This is good though. If you guys have questions, you know, ask them. I can answer stuff that I've seen, but there is quite a bit that I may not even know the answer to, which is good because that means I can go try to find the answer. All right, let's go ahead and get this guy back over here because he's got a pet and I want to try out your theory here. Well, exactly. Just trolling the zone like. Now, one thing I've noticed is the days of like feign death training someone, you know, and being able to troll them like that is gone. If creatures are engaged on Peter and Peter runs by Charles, then on the way back, if you feign deaths right there, everything that was engaged with Peter will now just walk back to its original spawn point without engaging Charles. So that's actually a pretty cool thing. Now, it kind of sucks if you're wanting to engage those creatures. Okay, here we go. Let's get this guy, and then we'll be able to just roll over and get the one with the pet. We'll go ahead and just pop back over to offensive stance. There's no point in burning endurance on these guys. These are... Correct. Yes. Yep. On the way back. I mean, if you were to engage them, then at that point, I believe that you can still grab them. Okay, so this guy, he's got the pet. So let's get him. Okay, so I have done Wizard, but not SK Bard Wizard. I did SK Cleric Wizard. And the Cleric Wizard combo was really nice because I was able to do a crap load of Cleric direct damage and a crap load of Wizard direct damage, just depending on what I was fighting, either undead or dead. But no, I haven't mixed it with Bard. Bard gives him like a 15% bonus, I believe. So it would be interesting to mix those two. Berserker, I have not done either. I want to try the Berserker stance. It sounds incredibly powerful, but that being said, I have not done that yet. So leveling isn't what I would call slow here, but I will say that it's not what you're thinking of if you're thinking of other, you know, like an emulated server. All right, so we are up and boink. Yep, looks like the pets do crash whenever you feign death off its master. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that pretty much anything mixed with a bard. Bard is extremely popular here because they can run up to 5 songs on an aura to where you cast them once and they just stay on, and then you're able to cast spells through it, cast other things through it. So that's those 5 just like aura things pulsing, which is really, really nice. And yes, Bard also gets to take advantage of the evasive stance, which means that they will be able to avoid 95% of incoming attacks. So, yeah, you could pull a tremendous amount of creatures and then just burn them all down without even taking damage. So I'm really excited to see what these guys downstairs do. See, look at that. Shin Greaves, like the world's trashiest Greaves, are 14 AC with +4. That's great. You know, that's really good. So it kind of gives you a reason almost to farm. Ooh, I almost got aggro, I bet. To farm these lower level areas whenever you're, you know, leveling up, because dude, some of the gear that you thought was just trash before is actually really good now. Let's go ahead and burn past these guys. I wonder if I'm going to get aggro from the other. Oh wow, look at that. That would have been a bad one to run into. All right, let's go down here. So I'm going to have to kind of play tactically a little bit. Oh, that's really cool. Look at that. Just a big old white wolf down here. Okay, so do you need a tank? You know, later on you will, because some of the named mobs will burn through your evasive pretty quickly. Now, would you be able to do it without a tank? Yeah, probably. I think Monk is in itself is basically a tank. But yeah, I do think that you would probably need a tank later on for like the bigger creatures. So let's see. Nothing should see you with eye view. Yeah, the bad thing is that you've got gargoyles and a bunch of other stuff up top, and with the new aggro range down here, or at least across the bridge, I was worried that they were going to grab me. Yeah, down here I should be fine. I'm just trying to find something named so I can kind of like test everything out. I do have haste. Yes, I definitely do have haste. So we're not seeing anything like really juicy up. I thought there were like 6 people in here. Yeah, there is. I wonder what they're fighting. Oh, yeah, they're lower level. They must be sticking to something different. Is this truly solo? Yes. Yes, it is. You could definitely solo a majority of everything that I've encountered. Now, does that mean that you're going to go like solo Inaruk day one? No, no. I do think that it's possible to solo Inaruk at some point. However, he is obviously going to be one of the more difficult mobs. Like, for example, I tried to solo Nagafin and I can't yet. Now, does that mean that I won't ever be able to? No, I'll probably be able to eventually. But I have not got, you know, +5 in all of my gear and etc. etc. I'm able to solo Plane of Fear, things like that, but I'm not able to solo. See, I guess they're trying to get the mask. So let's try a blue. Since we've been fighting nothing but crazy low levels, let's at least give this a shot. Ranger, warrior. So one thing about the clerics, at last I heard, he hasn't been taken down yet. Oh, thank you, Jason. So the SK taps are great. When I leveled my wizard up, I was able to get all the AAs for Destructive Fury and everything else. So I do get, I guess I get more criticals from them than I would have before. So this spirit tap right here gives me 210 HP. So in theory, with a critical, I can, almost get 500 HP out of it. But I do not have any of my healing AAs yet for the cleric, so I think that does affect the taps as well. So it just depends. I've always been an SK fan anyways, just because of their sustain. But I would love to see what a paladin could do on this server as well. See, this is what I was worried about over here. Ooh, I got a basalt gargoyle on me already. The aggro is nuts. Like oh my god, see how fast that guy ran? What the heck? So broken. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to escape these guys. You can't run away. Yes, the AAs that you get. Well, I don't know if I get, like, specific wizard AAs with this guy. I don't think I do. But any AAs that I were to get, like, out of the normal ones, like, if I were to go get Master of All while I was leveling up a Berserker and then got off the Berserker, I would still keep Master of All. That is one thing about this. With everything being so multi-class, the odds of you running into creatures that can, greater heal themselves and everything else is very, very high. So you're going to be fighting things that can complete heal, that can greater heal, so you really need to watch this bar sometimes more than their health bar, because until they run out of mana, they are going to be healing themselves up. So there are a few weapons with life tap procs on them in Classic that I've seen. One of them comes out of like Stonebrunt Mountains, but it's nothing like crazy. There's no like Augs sitting on a vendor somewhere that you can like throw into stuff or anything like that. I think once we get into Kunark at some point, if they, go off of standard EQ at that point, you will probably end up having more life tap style weapons. In fact, I think Temple or Vishant's Peak actually has the first real big life tap weapon, which is the that one like serrated sword, I believe. I'm horrible explaining where it came from. It's, it's not the first dragon you fight, but like the second one that's like an enchanter. He drops a good sword that does life tap. So see, I'm getting a little low on life here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop my Promised Renewal. It takes a lot of mana. You want to make sure that you have the mana for it. But as long as I don't die in the next 15 seconds, I will be full HP at the end of it, which is really, really nice. So if you don't want to kill fast, I'm almost unkillable. Like, as long as you're not looking to do this, like, quickly, I'm able to get full life and just keep on fighting. And by the time I need to cast it again, hopefully my mana will be returned to a level that it was before, and I can just do this, with no real turn. Yeah, VP multi-class dragons will not be fun at all. It was bad enough when they were a shaman by themselves. I can't imagine them, something crazy. Okay, so here we go. We got our first +4 sword. So keep in mind, +4 sword is 523. So let's take a gander at what it is at +5. 623. 623, you're breaking into, polished granite tomahawk. area. So realistically, for a fine steel sword that you would mainly just vendor fodder anyways, that's actually pretty nice to know that you can actually use a fine steel sword for a while and have a pretty good ratio out of it. So life procs right now, you cast the buff on yourself. You're going to do Scream of Death is what it is. You don't have the buffs or the stuff right now from this. Now, granted, you will get this Scream of Death by 200%. It is an AA that boosts up your buffs there, your procs, your self buff procs. But as far as like Mortal Coil and that kind of stuff, they're not in yet. So until they come in, you'll be stuck just using the self-castable buffs. And yeah, Ross is absolutely right. I don't even want to know what it'd be like to fight multi-class VP dragons. I have fought a +2 in a with a group, not by myself, with the group, and we did take it down. And yeah, I can't imagine a +4 with several different classes and things like that. All right, so thanks to y'all, I know now I can just bloop. Gracias. So yeah, we'll go check on the Magus. I don't even know. Like, I'm pretty sure that the Magus is going to beat me up, but we'll try. The casters, they're just hard to heal through. Like some of the big casters. I don't know about like a small caster. So we got a wizard there. I ducked down to see like that's gonna help. Okay, we got a wizard there. Wizard mage because I saw a pet. So oh yeah, the damage I do is definitely not from the SK. I'm not saying SK damage is bad, but it's never really been good. It's more about the sustain from their life taps and stuff like that. But yeah, the monk does some pretty crazy damage. Okay, so we've got a wizard here and a Dargul Knight. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to take these both together. Now, I could use the cleric to pacify, but instead, we're going to go ahead and... oh yeah, the Cavalier Pauldrons are huge, huge money, in the beginning especially. So this is a rogue wizard, so this would just be absolutely just phenomenal. And then let's see what the Dar one is. The Dar is a war wizard, so this is going to be great. Alright, so let's just see if I need to use my Mage Hunter stance. I may not have to. I've got pretty good resists, well, for this level. And I haven't shown you guys yet. I've got a mend for monk that is every, I think it's minute and a half. If it's extra noisy, my guy outside is mowing, so I don't know if you guys can hear that, but alright, so we'll pop mend real fast. And then I have another minute and a half till I can do mend again. So, you know, balancing mend with just the regular heals, you can get by with a lot. Look at that. I never realized that. The Fine Steel Rapier is actually just leaps and bounds better than the sword. You got 7 damage starting instead of 5. And then 23 delay, but 5 backstab damage too. So that's actually really big. That'd be good for a starter rogue. So I'm at 23%. Let's just go ahead and we'll pop the Promise Renewal. I bet you I can last 15 seconds at 23%. These Dargul Knights, though, they're actually pretty tough. Good thing is he already expended himself early with the whiz part. So yes, the attacks themselves, as far as like Eagle Strike and Flying Kick, they are on auto skill. Now, if I wanted to taunt, I have to taunt manually. And if I want to obviously use any of my spells, I have to do that manually. Okay, so the cast time on the Promise is actually nothing. It's, yeah, 0.25 second cast time. Like, it literally can't be interrupted. The only downside is as you can see there, it's 464 mana. So it can run you a little low on mana. But if you've got the defensive stuff, like I've got, I've maxed out my agility and my stability. I don't know if I've done... No. So, physical enhancement now, I've done that as well. And then if you're looking for just like a fast, cheap heal, Sacred Echo only takes that much mana, and it should get me to 100, or, you know, relatively close. Because I'm sitting at 4,600 HP, and there are already people out there with like 7,000 HP and stuff, so... Oh, forgot about this guy. But +4, as you can see, is doable. Wow, look at that. 8 damage, 30 delay. That's actually pretty good for a fine steel weapon, you know? So, realistically, if you were just to collect some of these and level them up, you could probably have a pretty good arsenal of damage. And of course, my Spirit Tap only does 4% mana right now. So doing it, realistically doing it back to back is probably one of my more efficient heals. And it does damage, obviously, so it's a really good thing. I have not done ambidextrous yet, which I probably need to do, to be honest, but I'm getting close. Okay, so Monk versus Wizard. What I would say right now is the Wizard, you know, there's a lot of consideration in the Wizard in the future. Now, right now, I would say melee absolutely outdoes the Wizard in a large fight. Could my Wizard have just absolutely obliterated this guy, you know, before I ran out of mana? Yeah, this is level 43. Would my Wizard run out of mana on something like Kha'Zix or some of the, you know, Plane of Fear stuff? Yeah. So they probably need to do some work on the casters for that part, especially on the end game. Now, leveling them up is really, really fun. No magical weapons to hit undead. In fact, I don't think anything is magical anymore. Yeah, there's nothing that's magical anymore. So, this, though, if you guys want a pro tip, this comes out of Kha'Zix Thul, and, like the Zone Kha'Zix Thul. And it is 8 regen on just a +2. You know, I could probably go farm that guy, to be honest with you, at you know, difficulty 4 and get that. But as you just heard, I got excuse me, and golly, I'm about to die. I got an AA there, so I'm up to 6. I need 3 more to get ambidexterity. But it just comes naturally as you level. You don't have to like turn AA damage on or anything like that. Paladin Wizard. This one's going to be interesting. Kinda want to see if he complete heals. Paladin Monk Berserker would be insane. Yeah, that would be insane. I'm sitting here thinking about all the damage numbers as a Paladin Monk Berserker. Especially in like striker stance or berserker stance, you'd just be, yeah. And with the paladin to heal the berserker stance damage. Lost the war. Yes, the NDA was lifted for the content creators to go ahead and stream today. I do appreciate your support, though. I would never do this without it being lifted because I enjoy playing here and wouldn't want to ruin that. Alright, we got ourselves the first name. So let's take out this guy first. If you have any questions about the NDA, by the way, you can get on the official EverQuest Legends Discord and see where they have lifted the NDA for those with the beta keys and the content creators to make, you know, footage of it and stuff, especially for you guys that are interested in the game. Wow, this is getting rough, huh? So we'll do a quick couple of heals here. With the Echo and the Mend, typically I have time to roll in a complete heal. Oops, hit the wrong button. A complete heal before I end up dying. This one looks a little spicy though. I was a goldfish my previous life. I'm definitely not a gymnast. Definitely not a gymnast. While I appreciate gymnasts. And yes, Paladin Wizard is going to be fire. So at level 50, actually, while we're on that topic, you get something called a primary class unlock token. And you're able to change your primary class as well as your loadout for the other two. So if I wanted to, in theory, make a paladin, berserker, monk, or whatever it may be, I would be able to do that. A bard wizard, there we go. That's why I'm getting my booty kicked. So one of the complaints that I have, and you'll notice it, either through my gameplay or you know, whatever, you know, whenever you can play, or if you get a beta key or whatever it may be, some of these wizards, they are able to almost perma stun you with their stun spells. Like their actual setup, it seems like they really do have access to all of these skills that or all the spells that a wizard does. See, he's just blasting me with the Sean's Clash like over and over again. So as you can see, this one is much more challenging, but I've already got Mend up again. In this one fight, I was able to get Mend up, able to use Mend twice, so. This one is level 39. I'm level 48, by the way. This is level 39. And it's giving me some hard times. What did he just hit me with? Oh, no, that was... Okay, I thought he just harm touched me. I was like, wait a minute. So the harm touch thing is whenever your complete heal goes off. Sometimes it still throws me for a loop because it's the harm touch, like, spell effect. Alright, so let's check what we got here. Serpentine Bracer +4, 13 agility, 7 dexterity, save versus void, and AC5. So we'll go ahead and grab that just in case we get anything else like that. And right here, you can just sell the rest. And it pops up these cool little things over it to show you what you're getting, which is pretty cool. So one thing that's cool also is it kind of brings, like, I don't know about you guys, but whenever you're playing, you know, typical, like, especially if you were coming from the MU scene, there's nothing really scary about the game anymore. Like, typically, you're so overpowered in a lot of those that, which is still really fun, but you don't really have to worry about checking your corners and stuff like that. And on here, you will definitely have to worry about checking your corners. Because there is definitely some fear involved with some of this stuff. I think that there's a lot of people that are excited for Hollowed Oath, to be honest with you. I cover their stuff as much as possible, especially on Fridays. I am an SK Cleric Monk at this point, but I have others that are SK Bard Monk, and I was an SK Wizard Cleric. So, got several. Oink. Ooh. Ooh. Could be a good time to go for that striker stance. Can't hit him. There we go. Yes, the underwater music does trigger here. I don't know about boat. I haven't been on a boat yet. So the best combo. Yeah, that's such a hard question because there are so many different benefits to all of them. But I think as far as just straight survival, it would probably be this one. With the cleric in there, the cleric is just so OP here with the ability to do the complete heals and all the rest of it. Like, there's a really good chance that I survived this encounter, which I wouldn't have been able to do on the other class makeups I was doing. So let's go ahead and pop some heals out. And I'm going to take a pride hit here, and I'm going to just go ahead and flop these, because this is crazy. Look at him run away. That's what I thought. Well, Shaman's going to be able to give you movement speed anyways. Bard movement speed's way better. But I would probably say SK, Shaman, Mage. Mages are strong in every iteration of EverQuest ever. So it's difficult for me to say that anything would be better, you know, than being paired with a mage as far as just straight damage. I've always said mage is just a wizard with a pet. And good night, Russ. So I guess I could have let you guys see me die. You don't lose anything if you die. You just respawn at the beginning of whatever zone you're in. You don't, I mean, you do spawn in with like no mana, no HP, so it's a mild inconvenience, but there's nothing that really happens when you die. Well, yes. Okay, so if I was just like a monk and I was with two other classes that couldn't use a dagger, no, I couldn't use a dagger. But being that I'm a Shadow Knight and I'm with a monk, I can use anything that an SK, a cleric, or a monk can use. So my SK can use this monk only white and treant fists, and this SK only blade. Now, if I was a monk primary with an SK, one of these two, I could still use the SK blade. So I'm using a cleric only shoulders because I got cleric in there, that kind of stuff. So no, there's no EXP. Oh, thank you, Daniel. There's no EXP loss or corpse loss when you die. Um, I think that there's probably some people somewhere that were like, we don't have time for that. We're all like, we're old now and stuff like that. So I think they didn't do that. So what just happened is I went around the corner because I was thinking that that would deflect their spell on me, and I forget that it does not here. You'll probably see me do that a lot because I'm used to, if you break line of sight, then they have to like recast. They do not hear. They'll you could go 6 walls away and they'll still root you through the wall. So best combo, I think that's going to be, well, I don't want to be cliche and be like it's whatever you have fun doing, because I mean obviously you pick a bad combo, it's not fun. So I would probably say that the best combo is going to be, a tank, a substantial healer, and then after that, if you wanted to go just straight sustain, you will kill the mobs eventually. You can whittle them away. Like there are very few mobs out there that have the regeneration. There's, they're going to be out, to out regen your stuff. Now they probably can outlive your mana. So I mean, if you can't do enough damage to, be able to heal yourself through their stuff, then at that point, whatever. But I think like well, they said earlier, paladin, monk, berserker, that is a tremendous amount of damage with the self-sustain from heals. But I have not played a paladin here, so I really don't know what their mana is like. Like, are they going to run out of mana real quick with classic style spells? I'm not sure. I'd have to check. So oddly enough, I'm not having to heal much on this, other than just using my mend. Like, I mean, I said that, now I'll have to, but yeah, this paladin is breaking out all of his toolbox. He's, stunning me. He's doing great heal or greater healing. The ranger is tangling weeds, careless lightning. I mean, they really do bring out their whole toolbox whenever they're, dual class, triple class. If you can bring a buddy to play, and like your buddy can make a core tank class, and then another buddy, like if you could bring two buddies over, and one of them could be a core tank, like I don't know, a paladin, warrior, monk. So you got all of the evasion from a monk, you've got all of the defenses from a paladin and a warrior. And then you bring over another guy that can be like a enchanter, shaman, cleric. So you've got the slows, you've got the CC, and then you've got all the cleric heals. Then another guy could be like a straight DPS, Zerker, rogue, ranger. Who cares? A lot of DPS classes. That would probably be, in my opinion, the best, absolute best way to go. So whether it be on the Discord or whatever, even if you could make some quasi friends, like that would be, in my opinion, the absolute best route, because you would just do crazy things. And the great part is that when you weren't playing together, to ensure that you didn't outpace your friends, you could just go off to another loadout. So like you could go play paladin, mage, wizard whenever you were not playing with your friends. But when your friends got on, you could go bam, you go right back to your paladin, warrior, monk, and then at that point you three could go out and do your thing. Yeah, and meditate works as long as you're out of combat. You don't have to be sitting or anything. So are you talking about you with a friend, Jace? Like, yeah, I mean that would be, you're basically taking three people's jobs and throwing them into two. So yeah, I think that'd be a really good one. I don't know Beast Lord's slow level at this point. Like I think that I don't remember them getting a very good slow until the high 50s. So I still think that the shaman would be, you know, more viable if you wanted to slow the mob. But the beast would, obviously they're going to get it eventually. I'll be honest, Paladin, Monk, Berserker just sounds fun. And if you want to hit me up on the Discord, I'm just Gymnastic Goldfish on there. Like I would be interested in joining that little trio. That'd be cool. I wouldn't even mind doing like a full tank setup either. But the slow, I mean, the Beast Lord's going to get the slow eventually. So it's not like, I mean, you look a little bit uncomfortable now, but later on it wouldn't be. And you got a pet, arguably the best pet ever. So it triggers to go down, but it doesn't let me stay down. I don't know if that's something I've set up that way. I can't really tell. It won't let me stay down. That's hard to say. Uh-oh, here we go. Boom. What's up? Yeah, see this druid, he's got Shield of Spikes, Spirit of Wolf, Skin Like Diamond, and Fire Fist. All of it. Like they literally do their entire spell book. Well, I mean, even if you don't get a key, it's only July, so I mean we're almost there, and then we can do that because I think that would be really cool. Especially if we could get one more, because then we'd have a full group of four. Because the grouping is only four instead of the traditional six, so that'd be really fun. By the way, as far as a wizard goes, because I was touching on wizard earlier, you get different general tap AAs. Like this one, you can actually be completely stunless. I've got one more, and it's 12 AAs, which is why I haven't gotten it. And then you've got this one, which is called Stoicism, that actually allows you to take off like 50% of how much you can get knocked back. So, in theory, with both of these as a wizard, sitting there with, something in the, in the trio with like a shield, whatever it may be, to negate more of that damage, then you should be able to just fire off your AoEs without really having much chance of them being interrupted. Oh yeah, and I think that you could probably raid anything with 4 people. Like maybe not on tier 4 or whatever, but I think that you could take down most targets with 4 people, especially 4 people that were conscious about their trios to make it to where they wanted to attack, larger targets. All right, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to try to go ahead and split this room so we can at least try to get a frenzy, because I think that would be pretty cool. All right, so I wasn't sure with this aggro range if Pacify was even going to work, because they really, I mean, they attack you from very far away. All right, so I have been slowed, but no, one thing to keep in mind, you guys have seen me, and now granted, I'm not fighting like super difficult mobs or anything, but the EXP is increased in the difficulty 4s, and I am still at 65% EXP, and I think I started at, a little bit over 50. So, I mean, I have not gotten a tremendous amount of EXP in the hour and 21 minutes that I've been on here. At least not for the difficulty level I feel like this is. I mean, this isn't like a cakewalk or anything. So yeah, whenever I get slowed, I just go caster mode. So you can get charmed. They've actually put a new AA in, I believe. Let me make sure before I get in trouble for saying that. Yeah, adamant will. Okay, so this allows you 20% chance to resist charm and 15% chance to resist mess. So there's 4 ranks of it. So that probably means you can get up to like 80% chance. Oh yeah, no, I think that there's a lot of people that are excited for this. I mean, you're going to have those that for some reason they're like super dedicated to like only one game coming out, so they can't see that like you can play 2. But yeah, other than that, I think that we're on the horizon for several good MMOs to come out for the first time in a long time. I don't know if this shows my age or not, but for some reason I can't get into these newer age MMOs that have been coming out, because they fail not too long after they come out to begin with. So I need this guy. What the? Oh, also the spawn times are very fast. So on the harder difficulties, it's hard to kill them and then try to move on to something else, because the spawn times are so quick. Yeah, aggro range is huge. I'm just sitting here racking my head on what, like, fear level 4 would be. Like, it just comes at you from all the way across the zone. In fact, why don't we do that? Why don't we go over and see some fear? I think we're pretty close over here. We gotta go to fear out, I think. There's another cool thing about the planes here, and that is you're able to access them even if you're not a wizard, you know? So you're able to get to plane of sky by going to this specific island in Freeport near the docks. Okay, so you know when you jump out of sky back in the day, how you would, you know, you'd land in the water. So it's actually like over in that area where you land in the water. And then Plane of Hate, the Spectre hut in Oasis actually has like a sword that you click on, and then you just get ported up into Hate. Oh, what did I do? Oi! Oh, okay. Well, that sucks. I guess. Yeah, the gargoyle saw through my stuff and then busted me. Oh, that's good. Yeah, feigning is a pain whenever everything casts. Like, it's really, really hard to get a good feign off. I will say one thing, though. Going from, like, a level 4 difficulty to rocking out on, like, a regular difficulty, it's almost a joke. Like, when you get into the regular again, you're like, okay, so is this hard at all? Like, you just romp through things, which is really, really nice. I guess it's like playing baseball when you're like swinging with one of those weighted bats, and then you go back to playing regular. You're like, okay, I can hit the ball, you know, a million feet. I wonder if I can cast this while I'm walking. No, not quite. Not quite. I thought maybe at 0.25 casting I could do it while I was walking, but I guess no. That'd have been kind of cheaty, huh? You do get some boots that like give you some run speed off of the tutorial quest, but I don't know if they're broken. Here, I'll show you guys. Like maybe you can give me some whatever, but I don't see them being any faster than what I'm regular like what I'm walking right now. And we'll do it when we're out in the swamp. That way you can kind of tell. Well, do you guys want to see hate or fear? Okay, let's go do fear. Thank you. All right, so here's the speed difference. I mean, do you see a speed difference? I don't know. Maybe there is one. I started my journey on this game with Bard in my trio, so all of this feels slow, to be honest. And fear, I should. I mean, I can't do it on level 4 probably, but I'll go in there on 0 and just kind of see. And if it's too easy or if it's too hard, I mean, we'll see. I should be able to. Only one way to find out, I guess. Oh, you know what? I didn't think about that. Maybe it does stop when I take it off. No, it's just slow. The buff stays on. I do kind of wish that I had some form of a movement speed class in this trio, but that's okay. Yeah, like, hold on, let's do this. Let's walk. See, I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe it's like a very small amount. I mean, if it's anywhere better than regular, then obviously it'd be better for a new player for sure. So one thing that I was kind of bummed out about, which I came in hoping to get it like on video, you know, just to kind of show that they didn't think of everything, was I fought like a whole bunch of snakes and I did not get kicked one time. Which that used to always make me laugh in the past, you know, getting kicked by a snake. And I feel like they fixed it because I was not kicked, and not even once by a snake. So I can get my SK horse whenever. So I mean, as long as you have the AAs for it. So the level requirement for this one is 50. This one is so I guess you can get it as early as 20. I am going to save up though for ambidexterity because I have heard that's great. Now, I probably could have done it by now. I just spent 5 or whatever on physical enhancement. I forgot to get that for my survivability there. Enchanter is foreign to me. I didn't really ever play one. I loved having them in my group, obviously, and I still remember, like to this day, way back in Kunark when it like first came out, playing with this just absolutely crazy enchanter. We were in Karner's Castle, and I'll never forget just pulling absolute trains to the group and him able to keep us alive, which was just absolutely wild. Oh, I'm way far away, and I was sitting trying to go through the wall. He was like consistently in a state of like 0 mana because he was just having to CC everything. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never played an enchanter. I didn't play one here either. No, I think I did have one on THJ, but not because I wanted the enchanter. I just wanted the doppelganger thing. I have no idea what they actually bring to the table. I do feel like on THJ people would pick classes for their trio only for like one reason. Like Wizard was only there. Wizard never cast a damage spell on THJ. It was only for the crit chance AAs and things like that. Whereas here, I feel like every single class you put into your trio is going to be for a very specific reason. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. All right. So, well, they're definitely yellow. Let's see if I can, like, regular invis. Well, originally it was ECI, and then they turned ECI and merged it with Tunair. So I guess it would be ECI / Tunair. But I mean, I played P99 for a while. I tried Quorum, and I think for some reason, um, I guess I just wanted to like just romp-a-domp stuff at that point, just because like I had played for so long. I just wanted to be able to just smash everything. So I ended up playing some of the other emus instead that were gave you a little bit more power, you know. All right, well, I guess this is a good chance for us to try. There's a fetid fiend on us. All right, so the math is looking good. He's got me down 12%. I got him down 25. So I think that, yeah, if I can keep up this rate, I can probably take two at once without having to do like significant heals. I wonder. Oh, well, there we go. Hey, where are you going, dude? Hey, no, dude. Well, that could have got spicy. You get the procs from like Scream of Death. You'll see it when it goes off. It's actually pretty nice because I've got 3 ranks of this soul abrasion that like doubles the damage of it, or like 200% or whatever. And that's it. I mean, you can definitely tell when it happens. It's a lifesaver at some point. I guess it is kind of hard to see when it procs though, because I think it does like one of the same, or it looks like the same animation as my Eagle Strike. Or Eagle Strike or something. So that happened. I was waiting for my thing to go off. I just wasn't paying that good of attention. There are some pathing bugs. I think that it's like the same pretty much as we're, you know, anywhere else you play. All right, so let's get ourselves buffed back up. I would have liked to have been able to at least kill the fetid fiend and kind of see what the EXP is like here. So yes, that there's as of right now, I don't believe that they've got any kind of like instancing in yet for, you know, all the zones, things like that. But we're looking at, you know, beta gameplay here, so I really don't know, you know, what they're bringing to the table in July. I would assume with this much interest in it that they're going to either have to have multiple servers or something. I mean, it'd be hard to fit everybody into one. I know that with the new beta keys going out, that you have seen a lot more people, you know, especially in like the earlier zones and things like that. I don't know if anybody's even here though. Let me see. Yeah, there's literally 5 people in here in Fear playing right now. That's awesome. I didn't know that. And it looks like, oh, it's not showing the player count. Well, you got to see me get pwned, which is nice. But you just spawn back. Like I said, you have 0 HP, not 0 HP, like 20% HP and 0 mana. And you take a big hit on your stamina. But other than that, I mean, you're not... It doesn't put you out too much. Ooh! See, I feel like that would have got me. No, I can get it. I can get it. But I was gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for this until I can get my ambidexterity, because this says, I mean, that 32% extra chance to dual wield it is a pretty massive increase to damage. So I definitely want to get that first. Almost everywhere I've ever played, people have said that, you know, ambidextry is a joke. Like, don't even worry about it. Don't get it. And here, it seems like there's actually a reason to get it. Oh my god! What? Why? I don't think that was supposed to happen. Yeah, dude, that was why in the world would Kha'Zix be all the way over here? Yeah. So, another key feature is Kha'Zix just warps to you and absolutely beats the shit out of you. All right. Well, good news is he didn't get to hit me. I walked out of that with 0 damage. Are they just going to be stuck there? Oh, okay. I was like, dude, come on, man. I want to get over here. That's where I want to get. And then I want to go over here. Because I feel like you don't get as many ads whenever you're, you know, just trying to pull from the temple and stuff. I love that they were gender conscious when it comes down to the fetid fiends. You got female and male. And the males look absolutely horrific. Alright, well. Yeah, I found a bug. Maybe I'll get a Starbucks gift card or something. Alright. Oh, wait, I'm gonna get invis. Wait, that's not invis. Okay. Well, I'm gonna make it to the corner at least. I think the worst things in this zone though are those little imp things that like warp you everywhere. Those are the worst. I don't mind fighting these things because these things are not that bad. These things are not that bad. The fetid fiends are pretty bad because of this stupid disease they give you. But yeah, the imps that just porch over. Now they do drop that that really nice dagger, spear, whatever it is, that's good for rogue. Wait, Kozak is being engaged right now. I'm watching his life go down. So that means that because they were engaging him, for some reason he has zone-wide aggro on any player. But I'm also noticing that these things are not rushing them to kill them, even though Kozak is engaged. That must be changed. If you can pull Kozak without having to engage the rest of the zone, that's kind of a game changer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed that. I wouldn't say they can't figure it out. From what I've noticed, the team that's working on this has been able to develop basically every single thing that they put their mind to. I bet you that they're just putting other things, in front of that. Now, granted, that may have been the fact that they're not in yet could have been why they limited the beta keys for sure. But I don't think that that was the key deciding factor behind it. Look at these guys. Oi. He might, or they might have already pulled this if they're just standing there. I mean, I feel like you're going to have, personally instanced zones in order to be able to make this work with that many people wanting to get on at the same time. Okay, so maybe Crush did pull a lot of stuff. Ooh. Over to him. Five. Okay, so let's just say 5 servers, and I think their Discord has like 20-something thousand people in it or something like that. So I mean, even 5,000. Granted, if they all purchase the game and everything else, but still 5,000 people per server would be a tremendous amount of people. Can you imagine, like, just thousands of people in like Steam font trying to kill all the same kobolds? Oh, I'm used to that being my attack button on the other. Yay, I healed myself. I will say that this beta seems to be much more open than any of the betas I've been invited to in the past on other games. Like, there's a lot of people on here. Like, a lot of people. Yes, the difficulties are going to. Well, yeah, I guess that's a good point. I mean, every single zone will have at least 4 instances of it, but you're kind of pigeonholed to the easier difficulties. In the beginning, no one's going to be just jumping into level 4 difficulty. I don't think. But later on, yeah, you'll have more people in the 2, 3s, and 4s. Oh man, I wish I could answer that. I don't know. Okay, so this is what I've got right now. Um, I know that the AC goes up like a lot whenever you level it up. So the differences in like a +1 and a +2, +3, +4 in these things, I mean, you could tell a noticeable difference every single time you upgraded it. All right, let's see if I can wipe. Let's see if I can. Oh, here we go. Didn't even have to cast a spell. Enormous aggro rain. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and pop our evasive stance because yes, you do less damage, but in evasive stance, I don't believe they can teleport you. So we're going to give this a test run here. So, like I said, you're going to do significantly less damage because you're not in your offensive stance. And you're going to burn your stamina or your endurance for every, during that extra 5% that they do. You burn your endurance, but should not be teleported around. So, I mean, obviously it's not the fastest kill, but this is a much safer way to do it. I mean, it's kind of a marathon killing this thing. But yeah, you can see the procs, that the SK does. Like his little self-proc thing from his buff. And the good news is the buff, instead of being like 20 minutes, you have to keep recasting it. It is permanent. I love the damage text, man. I do wish I could figure out how to, like, turn off where it shows misses and stuff like that. I would really like for it to just show, like, the straight damage that I'm doing. Alright, so let's see here. That was... Oh, dang, that's 1.5% EXP. So that's really good. So this may be the thing. Because even slow rolling this stuff, 1.5% is a really big number for EXP. Soloing one at a time. I don't think I could, when I got two in there, I ended up dying, but at least I can do one at a time. And to be fair, I guess if I was more conscious to the heals and stuff, I would have been okay on the two, maybe. So, picture this scenario with a dedicated tank, a dedicated healer, and then 2 dedicated DPS. Like in a full group of 4. You could, I don't know what level of difficulty you could get up to, because I know that it changes dramatically, but I'm thinking you could probably handle some significantly more difficult things. You know what I haven't tried? Your point blank AoE spells hit up to 30 creatures. And from what I've noticed here, nothing seems to summon. So I wonder if you could gather a bunch of these like monkeys or something and then end up using a bard to just kite them in a circle around here. I don't actually know if the little imp things can do their little port thing from afar. If they can do it from afar, then no, you couldn't do it. You know what else would be a really good place to hunt? I think, especially at this level, because I've gotten to 60 in the hole before. Bet you the hole would be crazy good. But then again, those little mudmen guys are pretty rough. So yes, you essentially you could change your loadout, but you have to be in a zone that's either in a town or adjacent to a town. Oh boy, I'm talking. So yeah, you couldn't like change your loadout in Plane of Fear. You'd have to be in like a safe zone. But yes, essentially, if you were in a safe zone and you wanted just to uber buff your guy, if you had like a really good, buff class in there, you could definitely do that. Look at that, silverback leggings. So one of the things you can do is you see where it says store here. This sends it directly to your dragon hoard, and it's a thing you can access in your bank. So instead of having to put it in your inventory and take up space, you can actually just send it directly there. So there's really no reason to ever have like overflowing bags when you're out. What is a hee-haw? Hehol. Hehols. I don't know what that is. Dave, I don't know. I can't figure out how to turn off like the misses and stuff, like where it shows you, missing and that kind of stuff. Let me see if there's a way. Let me move this so I can see my HP. Combat text. So show floating combat text. So yeah, I guess you can turn it off. Now, what I don't see is like, I mean, I want to make it to where I can't, like, I don't want to see like misses and things like that, which I don't see that, but abbreviated damage only. There we go. Well, that. Oi. Okay, cool. Wait, I saw a miss. Maybe that's him missing me though. Miss, 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 miss. Oh, I know. Okay, so maybe other. I can make it huge. Hold on. Boing. That didn't look that much bigger. Okay, let's try that. Look at that. Look how clean that looks. Just the damage I'm doing. Oi. And then this is the like motes that you can use to upgrade your gear. Yep. You can turn off the damage text though. Okay, so we got. Oh no, oh no, I sent those pants to the bank. Okay, I was going to show you guys the difference I can do. Next time we get like a piece of planar gear, I'll show you guys what it looks like to level it up. Yeah, Dave, no problem. I'm learning too. So I'm thinking that we're actually pretty lucky right now since they were killing Kazik. They may have actually cleared a lot of the zone. I'm not seeing as many ads I'm definitely not seeing a lot of those imps. I think that would be a really good thing to suggest, is like remove all imps. Just have their little rapier thing drop on something else. They're the worst. No, fear isn't all undead. I wish. I do a lot of damage to undead, but like this is my undead stuff. Like this is like an animal, and then a lot of this like the eyeballs and the tentacles. Those are not undead. Um, Now the Draco Lich is undead, which is nice. Yes, I'm actually wearing almost all Umbral for SK, Gauntlets of Fury or Fiery Might, and then the Rubicite breastplate. Oh, and a skull-shaped bar boot, because this was actually a little bit better than what I could find on Umbral, and I can wear this on several different classes as well. So. Mana regen is great. Really, really good, actually. And at first, I'll be honest, I felt like it was like ruining my EverQuest immersion to not have to sit down and meditate, just because like I was just so used to it. It's actually kind of nice to not have to worry about sitting. Like I can just like run around. Like once this little timer goes down, I go into that rested mode or whatever, and then I can just run around and I'm medding the whole time, which is really nice because you can like med on the way to getting other mobs. Like this spider over here, I'm medding the whole way over there. Then you got to do that classic like strafe run back so it can't catch you. So yeah, guys, we went from 65% to 77% right here in fear. Like I think fear might be the go-to to level up. Now, granted, I'm also at 118 AAs or whatever, with like full plate, you know, from fear and that kind of stuff. So it might not be as obtainable for like a brand new character, but your second go through, or you know, your third or whatever, I definitely would suggest this place. It's pretty cool. I wonder if Hate's the same way. I know Sky is more difficult to solo. I don't know if that's on purpose. I went up there to try to get more of these little fist weapons, and the little fairy guys just disrespected me. Yes, I looted all of this. There's nothing, like all of this should be no drop. Yeah, so once you equip it, it like attunes to you or whatever. So you won't be able to trade it, which I think is good. You don't have like a rampant market full of a bunch of people just giving away or charging way too much for stuff. Ugh. Okay, back to evasive stance. Another great spot for this level. I know that it's not the funnest place to go, but another great spot is Soul B. We're over there near the Afriti Lord. I was fighting over there not too long ago. Those they're big old imps too, but they don't launch you across the zone. Only bad thing is as a monk mixture, especially on my bard monk mixture, you got to be real careful of those little fire elementals. Their damage shield did more damage to me than their hits did. You know, you don't level I don't know. I guess it depends if you want to call it quick. 1.5% EXP in Plane of Fear on relatively, you know, level 52 mob, versus probably getting somewhere close to 0.2%, 0.5% in other areas. So I guess it would really depend on how fast you can murder things. Now, leveling up at the lower levels, especially on your second or third go through, whenever you get some gear and everything else, whenever I start a new loadout, my character keeps all of this stuff. So rolling through Crushbone, you know, hitting things for, you know, whatever this sword hits them for, it makes it a lot easier. And of course, you've got the full AC from all of your gear and everything else. But once you get, you know, to a level to where it's all kind of, you know, evens itself out, it does start to slow down again. Ooh, okay, so it does do it. He does still warp you, just not as much. Typically, I'd have been warped like 15 times by now, but it only warped me once. So that, to me, is acceptable. Well, I guess it depends on where he would have warped me. If he warped me into like 5 different things, I would still cry about it, but I'm not too mad about it right now. So the bonus, okay, so this is going to sound ridiculous, but the bonus that monks get from the weight is to AC. And the monk gear that you can use to get that bonus AC is significantly less AC than for, say, like an SK or a paladin. So realistically, the benefit to staying under the weight limit, like if I were to put all monk gear on, the weight limit, to get to the weight limit, the AC still wouldn't be more than I can using like an SK stuff. So no, I can't meet the AC or the weight limit for a monk. Absolutely not. But I don't get penalized for it either. So my AC is sitting, you know, where it's sitting because of the SK. I know, I don't even know if that makes sense. I feel like I'm confusing myself at this point, but it's better to wear the plate is what I'm trying to say than it was. And I've tried it both different ways. Now, if I was like a monk mixed with like a wizard and an enchanter or something, yeah, you definitely want to stay within the weight limit. That way you would, you know, obviously have that AC bonus. But yeah, on a plate class mixed with it, I think that from what I've seen and what I tested, then yeah, the plate's better. This is not usually this empty. I've come in here with a couple. I've come in here with a couple of people before, and it wasn't like this. It makes me wonder if they're killing stuff with that big group of people in here. Oh, well, there's only 3 people in here now other than me. Hey, if you are tuning in, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to be playing, well, until, as long as they tell us we can with the NDA or whatever, I'm going to be keeping playing this, and I'll try to answer all your questions. And if you want to send me a message, if I don't answer your question on here and you watch it after the fact, and you want to send me a message on Discord or whatever, I can either do like a little gameplay example of it, or I'll try to answer your questions the next time I get on. I wonder if I can fight that like a wizard. Oh, well, here's my chance to show you guys. Why is it saying I can... Oh, okay. Oh, there must be a different fright finger I didn't see. What new stuff did Cleric get? Okay, so Cleric got a new version of their self-complete heal. Not self, their complete heal for anybody. It's a extremely quick casting, and it instead of being like a 10-second cast to give you a complete heal, it takes almost no time to cast it, and then you have to wait 18 seconds and it complete heals. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. And then Sacred Echo is a new version of the heals as well that does an immediate heal and then 2 more heals afterwards for a pretty large amount. So all in all, 640 plus 220 or 260s. So realistically, you're looking at 520 damage on the after the fact heal plus 640 for the initial heal. So you're looking at over 1100 heal right there, whereas my normal heal is only 800. And the mana cost is only an additional 60. So this is a far more efficient heal. And it's way faster. So casting time on this is 3.75. This is only 1.5. So way faster heal and does more heal over time. Now I'm guessing if you just had to just blast heals and didn't want to wait, for the 12 seconds or whatever, or the 6 seconds, and I guess at this point you could do this one, but I can't really see a benefit to not using the Echo heals. They're just better. Now, with Monk, you get a mend every single minute and a half now, instead of 5 or 6 minutes before. So the mend is a phenomenal way to heal now. Alright, so we do have the Cthulhu guy come in, so let's see if we can't get both of them. I'm going to pay attention this time, and hopefully not get murdered. Okay, so no, you can only get one character. That's confirmed there, but you do get these primary class unlock tokens whenever you reach level 50, which allows you to change your primary class as well as your secondary and third class. So you may only get one character, but you can use that one character to literally do everything now. So you can even change your primary class. I haven't done it because I really haven't. I haven't maxed anything else yet. So. But just playing this and you guys talking about this, what did you guys call it? Like the Berserker mode, the Paladin Monk Berserker. That sounds like extremely fun. I remember on THC I had a Paladin mixed with a Berserker that I literally just used for Slay Undead. Like he would just do his frenzy and hit everything around you, and it would proc the Slay Undead and just kill everything. I remember doing that in Vexar and killing just droves of stuff. No. No, SK does not have stronger life taps than the Necro does. And in fact, there's a lot of people that I have seen playing a Necro. Now, SK brings to the table different armor that you can use than obviously a Necro does, but mixed up with like a cleric or something, you could just use the cleric's armor for the plate. So other than that, you do have a self tap that you can use. Like right there, I just used it. That just comes with your self buffs. So while you're meleeing, you do passively do self buff, tapping. But other than that, the Necro taps would be far better. Now they also have a much longer cast time, so I guess it would be like a switch off, but as of right now, there is no like life tap augs in the game or anything like that, so I think that having the self buff life tap from the SK is beneficial. You'd be surprised how much damage it ends up doing over the whole fight. Yeah, Brawler, that's what you called it. I missed it. Brawler. Hmm. But, I mean, yes, my melee is stronger than a cleric's as SK, but other than that, yeah, the Necro is going to bring a lot more spell damage to the table. due to spell gem constraints, I don't even use my DOTs, which realistically is taking in pretty big damage hit, because obviously, you know, the DOTs from SK aren't great, but it's extra damage. Let's see if I can't take these two. So my thing here, I'm going to try to use Mend once, and then pop off with the Promised Renewal, and then see if that's going to be enough to get these two down. And on the next stream, I'll go ahead and, you know, I'll play a different class makeup, and maybe at the lower levels too. Maybe make up something completely new. Maybe try Berserker, actually. And see about showing you guys, like, the leveling process going up. You know, a lot of... it's... At first, it wasn't like you just powered through, you know, you had to... You kind of struggled getting up there. But now, I mean, I would be able to go at level 10 directly into, like, the basement, probably, of Unrest or something like that, kind of crazy, just because of the weapons and everything like that. But alright, so my Mend went off, and then we followed up with a Promise Renewal, and now I'm almost at 100%, and one of them's down, so... Alright, and we got a Nautilus Shield. Now this is warrior only, but I'm going to go ahead and pop this into my inventory. That way, if we get another one, I can show you guys the differences in a regular, and then of course a +1. So we'll just see if I can get... Oh, another cool thing, if you guys haven't seen this, I don't know if I've done this yet. Like, I got this Black Pearl. I don't know why I looted it. Probably just because I wasn't paying attention. If you just destroy it, it gives you your platinum for it. So I was able to destroy the Black Pearl, and I got 14 platinum for it. So just destroying things out of your inventory actually gives you platinum for it now. So we'll destroy this too, and I got 3 platinum for that. So really, even if you accidentally loot things, throwing them into the, you know, destroy pile is going to still net you, you know, your platinum for it. So it's just really cool. Yes, I'm critting from AAs only. I've got, where did it go? There's some kind of thing I'm using for critting. Let me see. I'll find it. Give me 1 second. I've got like 3 out of 4 into it or something. It may be over here. Yeah, Combat Fury. So I don't have it maxed yet, but I should be critting 3% of the time. And of course, Warrior would far exceed that. And yeah, I'm not sure on Paladin healing yet. I would assume that it's good. I mean, the Cleric healing is phenomenal. And I know that Paladins typically got, you know, pretty good heals as well, being, you know, part Cleric. But, and their mana efficiency on that should be better because they're, you know, usually they're behind in levels, obviously. So I think that self-sustain from that would be great. And I don't know if the Paladin gets the AA yet that allows them to heal on hit. So if it does, though, that's going to be even better. Like, that's going to be crazy. And even if it doesn't right now, it's going to in the future. So I always look at characters like an investment. I mean, even if they're not great now, due to them not having something that maybe not come out till, you know, Velius or whatever it is, then you can always get him to level 50 and then just go do a different loadout and, you know, play whatever else and just have him on the back burner until you get to where he has the things that you want. So yeah, I'm getting this Scream of Deathstrike. numerous times throughout the fight. So 1, 2, you know, it doesn't heal for a crazy amount, but it's nice to get that extra damage in there as well as a heal. Drop me a shield so I can show them. Or don't drop anything. Alright, so I don't want to mess with this guy because he's going to strip me of all my buffs and stuff. Which I guess literally I don't really have that many buffs. It really wouldn't matter. Yeah. No. Whenever you're casting, you don't... Well, your auto attack stays on. I mean, you don't attack through casting. That's never been the case, though. Like, I'm attacking, and then when I cast my spells, you know, you don't attack during that, but... Ooh, I forgot they knocked back... Oh, wow. How cool. Leave me alone! Okay, so that wasn't a good idea. I don't know why. I didn't see the other ones. I guess... Meow. Alright. Oh! See, that's the one bad thing, is they can cast through the walls now. I don't enjoy that at all. Because, like, you can't even, like, line of sight them to, like, do feign death and stuff. So, your striker will last forever. Even if you're out of endurance, you'll stay in striker stance. You just won't have the benefits from it until you have endurance to burn. So there's no real benefit to getting out of striker stance, in my opinion, than, you know. Now, okay, so let's say you're in striker stance and you're blasting through your endurance and it's a long fight. It might be better to go over into balance stance a little bit to gain more endurance. That way you can do another burn phase. But other than that, I don't really see a huge benefit to getting out of it. But I'm not a min-maxer or anything like that. I don't like have a flow chart of this stuff like sitting around. I don't know. I just try to play and have as much fun as I can while not absolutely sucking too bad. I am curious where those other, like, 4 creatures came from, because there's no way they were in line of sight. There's, like, 0 chance they were in line of sight. Christ Bearers Saved by Grace. That's a cool name. Kudos to you, brother. Yep. You regen endurance naturally, and it regens really fast. Like, I started with 0 endurance after I died. I'm already at 92. It's about twice as fast as your mana. And then, like, on my bard, it's even worse. Like, you literally can just play like that Jackson's Jigo Vigor or whatever it's called, and you literally will regain mana, or I'm sorry, endurance extremely quickly. So that's great. There used to be, like, spells you could cast for cleric that gave you endurance back. Like, you could just cast a spell and give someone endurance. But I don't know if they got rid of that. I can't find it in my spell list. So I was gonna see if maybe this dude was up. Dread or whatever his name is. I don't see him. I'm risking it all. I don't see the Draco Lich either. My bard has... No, okay, so it shows the mobs that are close enough to be within visual range. But it won't show things like out of that. Now, if you have tracking on your class setup, then you can see things as far as you can track. So my bard, for example, can see things as far as his like little bard tracking can see it. Now his bard tracking sucks, but like a ranger, for example, like I can only like their ranger track would probably be able to see things across the zone. But yeah, this guy does it. Now I'll tell you one thing that does really hit you hard. Like for example, remember playing on THJ when you had all those world buffs and stuff, and you're like, "Oh, this is awesome," but then the world buffs went away for about 30 seconds, and you were just like, wanted to just uninstall the game because it just made the game unplayable. Even though it was just an extra thing. Switching from one like class makeup that has something really nice that you love to another class makeup that doesn't, it literally feels like a debuff. So like on my bard, for example, I've got bard speed and track are the two big things that like I just find so difficult to play without. And so even on this class makeup, in my opinion, is better for survivability, but I'm missing out on the speed and the tracking. And so sometimes it's like, oh man, like this class sucks. But it doesn't. I mean, it's just great, but I miss my bard speed and stuff. There's no harm or there's no death touch uh, on here. I'm guessing that was just to go along with the solo ability thing. Where'd those dudes come from? Oh, maybe they're over here. So, I wonder if this dude can see invis. I wonder if I can like back into a corner over here and then like kill 3 of them. Oh wow, I moved to patience. Alright, let's see. Can you see invis, you weirdo? I can't see my main chat for some reason. There we go. Oh, he cannot see invis. Oh, but he's gonna see them attack me and then burn after me, I guarantee it. Yeah, these guys are out. The Glare Lord's gonna get me, or they're gonna get me. Okay, so you do get some spells level 1 to 20 that are granted to you just by running. I mean, you can be out in Crushbone and you'll get some spells. My first play, I thought that you got all of them, so I was very excited. Yeah, oi for sure. Oi. But the you don't get all the spells, so I was missing out on a lot of them. I didn't realize I was missing out on. So my suggestion, well, no, another thing is if you go to the spell vendor though and you buy the spells in advance, you may get some auto granted to you that you didn't need to spend your money on. So it's hard to say like what to do in that situation. Like you may just want to go ahead and wait to buy your stuff. Okay, so there are 4 in there and 2 over here. There should be like a blob over. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there's not one there though. Oh, oh. Well. Whoa. Please don't say you cast anything on me, nerds. So yeah, I can't take 6 yet. That'd be nice, but... Oh, no, the Vigor... No, I've bought all of my stuff. So, because after 20, they don't give you spells anymore. You have to go get your spells. So yeah, I've bought all of my cleric stuff. Bard, yeah, Bard is a good addition to anything, but I have not played a Zerker yet to know just how awesome they are. Now, one thing about playing a Zerker, I've already kind of farmed up this Mithril two-handed sword for it because I know that they're like really big on two-handers. So I'm excited to use that. I want to try one really bad. I just haven't yet. Hmm. Alright, we're about to go old school. If I pacify this one... and then pacify this one... if I can just get 2 of them out, I think I'll be okay. But this is like a huge benefit of having the cleric in your kit, you know, because now I've got pacify, which is really, really great. Okay, so let's go. Oh my god, what? Where did Glare Lord come from? No, I don't think the temple's in my cards today. Just not in the cards. Oh, I am really glad, though, that in the 1 second that he had me targeted, he took all of my buffs away. That's really kind of him. My god. Yeah, waddle on back. I wonder if the Glare Lord will pull the rest of them. Yep. Lane. Well, hey, if they reset and the Glare Lord doesn't, I bet I can get him now. No! Ugh, okay. I tried. He really likes that barrier of combustion. He's yeah, look at that. He's oh, I know. He's casting it on everybody else. What a slap. Okay, well. Yeah. You know, I wish they weren't in them and the what are they called? Those little imp things are like the worst here. Hey, you know what? Let's go to Sky. It's actually been a bit since I've been to Sky. I wonder if I can take those things now. Because there is like a boss on the very first island, actually. I'd love to get some upgrades to the sword and the fists. Alright, so we'll Origin. And that should be right there in New Sibyllus, which is in Row, which is real close to the town. We'll go over there and go to Sky. I don't want to go to Hate because Hate's, well, I don't know. I need those dragons there, those bone dragons, because one of them drops a really nice one-handed SK weapon. Oh, hey, keep in mind. Okay, so Origin is really great. It takes you back to your hometown. If you're a bard, though, and one of the things in your little 5 aura that you're casting is a damage spell, you'll Origin in, and then you'll hit the targets around you with it, which typically are going to be like guards or vendors or a bank or whatever it may be. What is TLE? Once I know what TLE is, I'll answer that, because I'm not really sure what that is. Oh, look at that. Always 90% EXP. That's actually really good. I'm really excited for that, actually. I did not think that it was going to be that good. Oh, TLP. Okay. Well, okay. Well, as a new EQ player, I think that live is going to be. There's just so much to live now because they're like 86 expansions in. That it's just going to be overwhelming. I think. Like I've tried to get back on live. It was years ago too, so there's even more to it now. And there's so much that you need to learn to do to even try to progress that it's just a lot. Um, P99 is its own worst enemy in the sense that it's a phenomenal server to play, but the makers of P99, I think that they're switched most of their content, over to this. So I don't know that that's going to be getting any significant updates sooner like that, which means that you'd be probably better off going with something like this. The other one was Legends. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I feel like if you were a newer player, this is going to be the most user-friendly, for you to get into. Now, the TLPs are fun too, though. It just depends on which TLP you're going for. The last one I played was Mischief, and it was a lot of fun. But, I mean, there are some benefits to the TLPs, and there's some bad things to the TLPs. One of the bad things is that there's a lot of chrono farmers on there, and by chrono farmer, if you haven't played, that means that it's their in-game currency that you can purchase with real money. But once you purchase it, you can, transfer it or sell it to other players. And so you'll have people that are farming up like most of the good items and trying to sell them for chronos or whatever it may be. And then they take those chronos and they sell them on, third-party sites for real cash. So they try to make money off of it. You would definitely learn the core game better on a TLP, but I think that you would have more fun on Legends. It just depends on what you're looking to do. So what we do know about Legends, though, AB, is that okay. So if you were to buy live EverQuest, you would need to pay a subscription to play on the TLP. That same subscription will not work for Legends. So if you wanted to play both to try them out, you would need two separate subscriptions. When it comes out in July. So you wouldn't. Well, I don't know. Some people like to play both or whatever it may be. I do believe they're still doing key giveaways. You just got to be lucky, like on the streams or whatever else it is, to be able to get one. Not like my stream, like like the real like EQ Legends streams that they're doing. Like sometimes like whoever, I don't know, says something that they like or whatever, and in the comments will get like a key. Oh yeah, very much different than standard. So I know that I'm on like an EQ Legends stream here, but I will say that if you wanted to get like if I had never experienced OG EverQuest, I feel like going into a TLP would just be absolutely magical. It's a game we all fell in love with, but most of us have been playing it for 25 years, so EQ Legends is a phenomenal experience to change up the base game for us, to give us new content, a new way to fall in love with the game. If you're first time playing EverQuest, it could be crazy awesome to get into a TLP and be able to group and make friends and all that kind of stuff, and experience the first time rolling into Crushbone and having to group to I don't know, Crushbone wall to be able to bring in the throne room, that kind of stuff. Whereas on here, you're going to be a lot more powerful with 3 classes and scaled down enemies and things like that. So you're probably going to be able to roll in to Crushbone and solo everything, which is going to be a completely different experience. Yeah, I have not seen flat price or sub rates either. Okay, so I always have a hard time with the whole like meta conversation, and the reason why is like I feel like anybody that is going to play the game 14 hours a day, you know, and like never go to the bathroom and that kind of stuff, like their class makeup is going to be meta because they've spent 400 hours in it and have maxed AAs and plus 10 all their gear and everything else. So yeah, no matter what class trio that they pick, it's going to seem meta because they, you know, they're living in the game. You know, they don't mow their yard, they don't feed themselves, that kind of stuff. Which is fine if that's what you want to do. But I mean, so they're going to seem like they have a better class makeup than somebody that may only play 20 hours a month or whatever because they've got like crazy hours at work or whatever it may be. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with absolutely playing all the time and giving, like I have no-lifed so many different servers just because I absolutely loved playing them. So I am one of those people that like forgets to eat when I'm playing. And it's not fair to say whatever I picked is meta whenever I'm spending 60 hours a week playing a game while you're spending 60 hours a week at work being able to play at night, you know, before you go to bed. So long story short, everything's going to seem meta when the guy playing it is playing it 14 hours a day. Yep, there it is. That's exactly right. SGC, like you're going to, there's not going to be a meta that you can't do because you're going to be able. I mean, if you see somebody out there conquering content that you wish that you could conquer, you can just go play the class makeup that they're trying it and see if it's the same. By the way, I'm tackling plane of air, like, or sky. I mean, like I did not think I was going to be able to do this. Now, granted, I may not be able to take the homegirl in the middle, but this is great. I was not under the impression I was going to be able to come in here and do this. Well, AB, you don't have to pick one. To be real honest with you, you've got the opportunity now to play the TLP until this game comes out in end of July or whatever it is. So if you're brand new to EverQuest and want to just get the feel for it, you know, start on the TLP now. And if you just absolutely fall in love with it and make, you know, lasting friendships and that kind of stuff, then you can do that. So I am not going to tell you to go play on a free emulated server when I'm on, like, when I'm streaming on, you know, like a lot. What I can tell you is that I've played on numerous emulated servers, and as long as you own the game legally, then yes, there's a lot of emulated servers that are incredibly fun that you could play on. And as far as like a variety of, like, you can look back at my channel. I've probably done videos on 12 or 13 different emulators, and they all have their own unique style and sets and everything else that make them both unique and fun. What classes are you now? Yes, I'm SK, Monk, and Cleric. How is gear working across different classes? Will it be multifunctional, or do you have a gear set for each combo? So the way I'm doing it is, now you will have a gear set for each combo, but the way I'm doing it is, since my SK is my primary and the other two can change, I primarily gear my character for SK. That way, no matter what I pick on my secondary and third, most of my gear will still fit because I am a primary SK. Yeah, Jace, that sounds awesome. I look forward to that. Just send me a message on Discord so we can keep in touch. Hey, let me know how that TLP goes as well. Like, I haven't heard much about the new one, but I know that they're bringing out a new one, and so I'd like to know. I think the new one actually releases at the end of May, like May 20 something, which would be interesting to find out how that one goes. Yeah, it sounds fun until you run into that warrior, enchanter, ranger that just mezzes you and then snares you, and then the warrior's just beating you and stuff. It can be rough. I think the worst one I ran into so far, it was like a wizard cleric or like a wizard mage cleric or something, and they're just romping. Well, you know, EverQuest has always been the same, where the wizards can still hit you for 150 and then blast you, and then you know all that kind of stuff. So, but no, they're just raw dogging you with magic, and then the pet's blasting you, and then when you finally get to where you think you've got him, the cleric just starts healing. And that's like, okay, I guess I'll just respawn, you know? So I don't know if these guys just don't drop the bigger stuff. Oh, are you killing the princess? Oh man. Monk, bard, shaman. Yeah, that would be a good trio there. Doing good too. All right, but as you can see, it looks like okay. So monk, bard, shaman. That's definitely not monk gear. I'm willing to bet that that's imbued from the bard line of planar gear. So even though they chose a monk, they're able to still have the plate mail from the bard. You know, so yeah, that would be a crazy good duo or trio. What do you mean in Sibyllus? So the mobs, well, I don't know, the bard doesn't seem to be hitting me with all of his bard stuff, but the mobs, whenever they're like tri-class, dual class, they will use their full library to both attack you and obviously to buff their friends and mates within their range. So yeah, you'll start to see a lot of the mobs really stacking up with some dangerous spells on them. By the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed and you're watching and you're enjoying the content, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing some more live streams on EverQuest Legends, and you know, trying some different class, you know, makeups and things like that. So it would mean a lot to me. Yeah, and the worst thing is like SOW just makes mobs so hard to keep up with whenever they run, especially if you don't have a snare. That's why I like lower Guk so much, is most of them are undead. So you don't have to worry. Well, unless you go to live side, but I think I'm going to try to get to level 49 and then end this, guys. I've got to go get something to eat. We might plan on something for tomorrow, or shoot, maybe even later on tonight. Just depends. So yeah, if you do subscribe, hit that bell too. You'll get alerted whenever I go live. That way, if you want to check it out, you're more than welcome to come on here and. You know what I should have done? When I saw that guy killing the princess, I should have invited him to a group and seen if he'd have let me join him, because you still get group loot. So like you get individual loot. So like there's no negative to letting someone join you to see if they can get some good loot too. I should have done that. I know, like in Lower Guck and stuff, all the time, if I'm fighting like the Executioner or the Frenzy or whatever, people will, you know, ask me if they can join my group because they just want to see if they get a shot at the loot as well. And of course, there's no reason to say no, so of course I always invite people in. That's another great thing about it, though, is with individual loot, like there really is zero reason to not invite somebody in, even if you're camping something specifically, which I really, really like. I like grouping a lot. Like, I think that it's like literally the best part about MMOs is grouping up. Yeah. I was, what was I? I was SK... Yeah, SK Wizard Rogue is what I was on THL. For, you know, for my main... I mean, everybody had 15 classes, but I did... And yeah, I could pull pretty much all of Plane of Fire, all of Dragon Necropolis, all of that stuff. It was crazy. I also remember being able to go into like your own specific instance though, and like leaving your character online, like with a pet, and just having things walk into you, and your pet would kill them, and you could just go to sleep, and come back to like 40 AAs. I did that with that pet trio or whatever, like, you know, the Magician, Beast Lord, Necro. Everybody had one. Here we go. Bracelet of Cessation. We'll keep that in case I ever make a Necro. I won't ever make a Necro, but if I did. The sleeper was a fun one. You know, I never got to the point where I could take that dude at the end of Plane of Time. Was it Bertox? I don't remember what it was, or whoever it was, but I never got to the point where I could solo him. But I was able to solo everything else. See, I just feel like there's so many ways with this trio, like Shadow Knight, Cleric, Monk, that you can just stay. Like right now, I can choose. How do I want to survive this fight? I can just spirit tap my way through it. I can sit back and I can hit mend every minute and a half, and hopefully that keeps me sustained up. Or I can use a very limited amount of cleric spells that I need to use to be able to completely heal myself. See, that was a big one. 642 heal. That was a crit from my tap. So, like, there's so many different ways to survive. You literally just have to watch this little blue bar right here and make sure that, like, you're not getting too crazy. If this bar goes lower than the enemy's health, then you need to chill out. But other than that, there's so many different ways to stay alive. I like the man. I like that I found out now how to like turn off the misses and stuff, because now it's just a slew of numbers. Ding. Belt of contention. There's a warrior thing. All right. In case I ever want to do that pure class, you know, tanking. So now I've got Word Divine, which is another PB AoE, and Armor of the Faithful. So let's see. So this is another I guarantee this is permanent. Yep, permanent. So increase your hit points and armor class, and it's absolutely permanent. So, well, permanent as long as you're alive, you know. My abjuration sucks. Cool. Well, all right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I will be busting in for some more live streams. So if you haven't subscribed, please do hit that bell so you can get alerted when I'm going live, and we can check out some more class trios and some more planes and just see what all I can solo. And of course, hopefully get some group gameplay. I'm in a good guild here, so hopefully we can get some group gameplay going as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I will check you all later.